Hi guys, and welcome back. I'll do that again. And welcome back to the channel. So, hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to my mini shred. So the purpose of this video is to show you what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks to drop almost half a stone. But also to say that it's not for everyone. This aggressive dieting period is something that I've done before. So what I've been doing at the moment is doing a 2-week aggressive diet where I will show you my calories and macros during the video, and then I'm doing 2 weeks at maintenance now that we are in sunny Barcelona. If you want to see the full video of taking diet breaks and aggressive dieting versus just doing more of a kind of gradual diet with then having some treat meals in there, I will leave the link just above for you to click on and check out what an aggressive diet actually is and how it is structured. Now the reason I did this is because we were coming to Barcelona pretty much, and it was kind of unexpected. We thought everything was going to be cancelled due to COVID, obviously, so I wanted some kind of tangible goals to look forward to, shave off a bit of the fluff, get a little bit trim, look decent when I get some vitamin D, plus I just fucking hate home training, so it gives me something just to look forward to. Now, if you want to follow along with this aggressive dieting protocol and have a go with this mini shred that I put together, I have in this video put together a full training program for the last 2 weeks, my diet, my supplement regime, and pretty much how I did everything over this 2-week period. However, your calories and macros will need to be tailored to you. So if you want to join in, I will leave a link in the description to my free calorie calculator where you can dive on, work out your own calories based on your age, sex, height, weight and goals. This will then give you your calorie intake that you'll need. You'll need to pick one of the more aggressive deficits for this 2-week period, as I explained later on in the video, and then you're pretty much good to go. So without further ado, let's dive in to the physique update. So let's first dive in with the week 1 update, and as you have seen, I started off at 209 pounds, and physique to start off with, not too shabby to be honest. I kept it quite tight through lockdown, so I wasn't mega worried when I was kind of kicking things off again, which is really ideally what I wanted to do. But I tend to store most of my fat around the lower back. Legs tend to stay fairly lean, so again, they were pretty cut to start with. I mean, there wasn't a massive amount I had to shed off anyway, but it was just to tighten up a little bit. Now going into week 2, I would say that there's not a massive amount of difference to spot. Again, I did lose a fair bit of weight in the first week, which I would guess is more due to glycogen and water retention through training a little bit more and just looking after my diet. I think looking back at the legs again, they're coming in a little bit tighter, midsection's coming in a little bit. Coming into week 3 is where I started to notice more of a difference. Legs were better shape, started to notice more of a change. I think this was all to do with being obviously clean shaven. So it's kind of when the guys manscape your Johnson, it makes your love length look a little bit bigger. I think it does the same with physique as well. But I'm happy with the change that I've made through this mini 2-week cut, and it's just nice to see a little bit of a difference before I jet off to Barcelona, enjoy some time in the sun, and get the swimming trunks on and enjoy some of the vitamin D and some of the UVs. In a little bit better shape than I first started off with. But if I draw a comparison between the two, this is week 1 on the left and week 2 on the right. I think you can start to see there just slightly better shape that I'm holding. There's a little bit less of the fatty deposits through the lower back. The shoulders and stuff are coming into better shape. And yes, I know that we're in slightly different lighting. And this is from the front view again. I think my legs even look probably a little bit bigger. Again, that's just because of the shape of them. Now the program design that I made for this mini 2-week cut was pretty basic. Didn't have a lot to play with during lockdown. I had 2 weeks. Plus, what you often see from programs is that the sexier the program looks, the less it probably does in regards to your competition. And the more boring a program is, then it usually gets sexier results. So as you can see here, we're just looking through the step count that I started with in week 1 and week 2 and the differences between the two. I took a log for the first week. I was aiming for 10k steps per day, going a little over most days, but that's absolutely fine. And then when moving into week 2, I then set my step count at 12k per day, again going over slightly, especially on the day that I went to the zoo on the Friday. Slightly more steps, tend to be a little higher on weekends as well. Now, what people often think is that when it comes to losing fat, that cardio, such as HIIT, running, burping until you're blue in the face, is favourable and is the answer. However, when we look at our TDE, the total daily energy expenditure, less energy, i.e. calories, are burned from workouts and more from our NEAT levels, i.e. our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is mainly made up from our step count. So if we can manipulate this and hit more steps, we will be a lot more successful in our weight loss journeys. Plus, it's way easier to walk a little more each day than it is to do an extra run or more cardio. So moving into the training element of the program, I know this is probably the part that most people want to see, but again, as I said, it's not sexy, it is boring. Week 1 and week 2, you can see there's a split slightly differently. I was mainly doing 5 to 6 exercises per day, and this was split into Monday was push, Tuesday was lower body, Wednesday I took as a full rest day, and then Thursday I did chest and triceps, which is my weak point. Friday I did a pull session, which is back and biceps. Saturday I did another lower session, which was more posterior based, so hamstrings, and then Sunday a full day of rest again. The whole point of this program was progressive overload, and progressive overload just means simply to do a little bit more the next week. So as you can see from the different weeks, on a Monday I started with 100 push-ups. The week after I just simply hit 120. Again, I increased some of the rep ranges and increased the amount of sets through some of the workouts. So I was just progressively overloading by getting a couple more sets, a couple more reps in. Sometimes, and one of the main things I used through lockdown to progressively overload was the use of time. So as you can see for some exercises, in week 1, I've used 45 seconds. Week 2, I've then upped it to 60 seconds per set. So just time and attention to utilize that as another tool to progressive overload. Pretty simple again. And then pull-ups, I was doing 75 week 1. And the second week, I was doing 100 pull-ups. So again, just progressively overloading where and when I can, as much as I can. Nothing too sexy, and trying to minimize injuries, because it's been an absolute ball ache through lockdown getting injured. But next, moving into what I'd say is the most important element of this program and what's contributed to the fat loss the most, which is the diet. And I've been having 5 meals per day, starting with my breakfast, lunch, a snack, a dinner, and then the bedtime snack. So my breakfast just was really simple, and again, I'm a boring kind of guy. I enjoy my simplistic things. So I had 10 egg whites, 1 whole egg, broccoli, and then I'm just a guy who loves mayo. And this was a really small calorie intake. I think it was 391 calories. Lunch, mega simple again. Chicken breast, some noodles, some peas. Really low calorie intake again, around the 300 marker. And then for a snack, I just had a bagel, because I'm an absolute sucker for a bagel, and it's way better than bread. If you disagree, fight me. A little bit of skinny food jam. Then for dinner, calories stepped up a little bit, so just over 400. Again, just had some chicken, some stir-fried veg, broccoli, a sucker for mayonnaise again, so whack 2 tablespoons on. And then the most of my calories come from the snack meal, which is my kind of specialty that a lot of people ask me about on Instagram, but realistically it's just some Greek yogurt. Have about 300 grams, bang some frozen fruit in there, whack a little bit of peanut butter on top, sprinkle with a few raisins, dash of honey, and then I'll slop a little bit of jam on the top, and it creates a bit of a masterpiece, I like to say. But that was my highest calorie meal of the day at 624 calories or something around that, I think it is, maybe 634. And the reason why I do this is because a lot of people tend to fuck up here in regards to calories. Whereas if you save more calories for later on in your day, i.e. when you're usually hungrier, then you will generally go to bed feeling satisfied and full. And it's always 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night when we tend to rummage into the biscuit tin, overspit on calories. It's never, no one's ever eating Ben and Jerry's at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. It's always later on. So if you can save more of your calories for then, you'll be far, far better off. And this brings my total calories up to, for the day, just over 2,000 calories. Protein around 229 grams, which for my weight at the start point of 209 was plenty. And it's important that we make sure that we're getting enough protein into our diet, because most people don't get enough, which is really important for recovery, especially when we're losing weight and looking to retain muscle tissue. Carbs and fats I wasn't too bothered about. They were at 165, I think, and 49 grams of fat. Then on a Saturday, I would bump my calories up to 3,000. This just allowed me and Lucy to have dinner on a Saturday evening, bit of a treat meal, have a couple of drinks. I'm a sucker for rum and coke, and some Saturday night sushi. So that just allowed me more give on a weekend, which I quite enjoy. But what most people tend to fuck up with is that they don't account for these calories on a Saturday night or whenever they're doing. And this brings my average daily calorie intake up to 2,150 overall, just because I bumped my calories up on a Saturday. So it's just something that you need to remember. If you're having more food on a weekend, it needs to be taken in as an average for the rest of the week, because if you're only in a 10% deficit, for example, and you're not on an aggressive deficit like me, it is going to take you out of your caloric deficit and probably spill over and sabotage your fat loss. Now I'm just going to quickly show you some naked chef cooking montage type thing with some screenshots from MyFitnessPal. So it's pretty basic. But the first thing I usually kick off my day with is just a pint of water and some caffeine, because it's what basically fuels my day. And once I've kicked that off, I'll generally then fast up until about 12, 1 p.m. Just depends on what I've got on for the day. And I just find that it tends to help me get tasks done early on and stops my cravings the rest of the day and gives me more calories to play with later on. So the first meal I'll kick off was my breakfast. Again, 10 egg whites, 1 whole egg and some broccoli. It's not one of those meals that's going to set the world light, but for me, I just enjoy it. I'm kind of one of those people who will go into a brunch spot and order an egg white omelette. I know for some people, you're probably thinking, what an absolute weirdo. But that's the type of guy I am. And again, this is just quite a volume size meal. Well, I get a lot of volume from the meal for the amount of calories that I'm getting from it. Quick, easy, bit of season on there. Bish, bash, bosh. Then for lunch, again, mega quick and easy meal. The noodles in this meal are 30 calories per pack. Naked noodles, can't go wrong with them. The only thing is it's £2 a pack, so it does start to add up. And it's one of those noodles, honestly, you can't even get that amount of calories from eating oxygen. And they seriously don't taste like they were manufactured by a Play-Doh company. They're actually pretty good. So I'd tend to try these if you're trying to keep your calories down. My next food is a bagel. Now, bagels is just like one of those things which sets the world light for me. Bagels is my go-to, and I can't get enough of them. I'll always sneak a little bit of the Skinny Foods jam on, which are advertised as literally 0 calories, so don't include them into my calorie intake for the day. Again, I'll pop the MyFitnessPal screenshot up of this. Don't include the jam in it because I like to live it on the edge. The next meal, as explained before, is my tea. And I just want to show you this one because the amount of volume you get from this much food for kind of like 400 plus calories. Mega simple again. And it's quick and easy. A lot of volume. All it is chicken. I'm really lazy. I hate cooking chicken, so I just tend to buy the little packs. Bit of vegetable stir fry and some tender stem broccoli again. And then I'll talk you through the snack, which is the Greek yogurt meal. Again, I'll put the calories and macros up on the side. It's a little bit of a formulous one. It's one that you have to kind of work out for yourself in regards to what order you tend to go in. I usually go Greek yogurt, then the frozen fruit, and then I will pop like the blueberries in if I'm having any blueberries. A little bit of honey, sprinkle it in there, mix it up, pop a bit of cinnamon on, and then I'll go with the Skinny Food jam again. Pop a little bit of PB on top, which is like the creme de la creme to top it off. And again, that meal keeps me really full before bed, so I'm not craving anything else before I go down and demolish anything that's lurking about in the kitchen. My training program was mega simple. Again, I haven't got a lot of kit to work with at home. All I've had is a dumbbell, a really light kettlebell, and some bands. So I kept the training pretty boring, pretty bro, but again, I wasn't looking to add any additional muscle tissue. I just wanted to try and strip as much body fat as I can and try and retain some tissue. So I was really working on tempo, trying to control some of the movements when I was going from a push-pull leg split, working time under tension, trying not to really be throwing the reps around because I didn't need to. Most of my sessions tended to last about an hour. Because I was so hot inside the kitchen, I could be burning up to about 400 calories in just an hour. So again, it wasn't something that I was shooting for, a calorie intake. I just wanted to make sure I was getting a good session in. The kit I had available obviously had been limited to the exercise I'd explained before, but I'm really now looking forward to getting away, training in Spain, being in the gyms, and then obviously when we get back, gyms in the UK will be ready, fingers crossed, for the 25th for us to dive into. But week 1, training. And then week 2 was slightly different. I was just progressively overloading via upping the seconds on some of the exercise, such as the banded work. And then I would increase reps or sets on the dumbbell work. And then when it comes to the bodyweight stuff, so pull-ups and push-ups, I was just trying to get like an extra 20 reps on the week previously just to overload the muscle groups and try and stimulate a little bit of growth if possible. Now, there is a reason that I've left supplements to last, and it's probably because it's the least important thing. Now, I know a lot of people like to get the dick hard that supplements are going to be the be-all and end-all, but the hint is in the name. It's a supplement to supplement your diet and your training. Now, I tend to have my supplements after I've had my coffee, and I'll crack open my nan's pill box now, i.e. my supplements I'm currently using. These are split into AM and PM, i.e. morning and whenever the hell I remember to take the afternoon ones. I'm currently morning taking 2 fish oils for healthy joints, because as you can probably see from my diet, I don't tend to get a lot of fish in there. And then I'll usually have 1 multivitamin, just a simple and sweet one from the supermarket, something to keep me ticking over. Then the supplements I'll also use are now not performance based, so I'll take a biotin, and then there's 2 hair support capsules you can't remember the exact name of. But these are the tablets that I've been taking now for the past year after getting my hair transplant done, and they just support the growth and keep my hair happy and help me and probably stop from falling back out again. This little guy is a vitamin E, so it's another supplement for skin, hair growth, nails, just helps keep everything tickety-boo, I suppose. Then once I've got that out of the way, later on in the day, I'll have my PM supplements, which I have ashwagandha from USN. Now, there's lots of benefits from ashwagandha, and I'll allow you to Google them, but there's some to do with performance and recovery, but then there's also been research to show that ashwagandha does help with stress and anxiety as well, which is something that I've suffered with in the past. So I always take ashwagandha throughout the year. I'll then take another multivitamin and another fish oil later on. And as you can probably see from my supplements, most of them are for health, hair, and skin, not necessarily performance. So it's just something to consider at the moment. I'm not really taking creatine. I wasn't taking away protein throughout. I was getting most of the food and calories from food itself. I do, however, also occasionally take BCAAs, sort of just during my workout to help me get water in, because I'm terrible at getting water in. Like, if I didn't remind myself to do it, I would literally live off Diet Coke, coffee and Monster. Now, there is a process to this which I like to stick to just before my workout kicks off, so I guess it's like a habitual thing. The process is, for me, a little slice of lemon, a few blocks of ice, and then I'll use the orange BCA from USN. Again, I don't believe there's a massive benefit to BCA, so I wouldn't go wasting your money on it. For me, again, it's just to chug on through the workout, helps me get an extra pint of water in. I'll also sometimes take a pre. Again, I've been using the USN supplements because of the shit. I'll very often, though, at the moment, not using for a home workout, so unless I'm really lagging with energy, which I haven't been too much. I've only been using it once, maybe twice a week. And the reason for that is I just don't need that much energy to swing a dumbbell or a kettlebell around my kitchen, to be honest. Hope you enjoyed that mini cut, guys. A quick little trim down. Of course, now we are in Barcelona. Cinematic views, spin around. And we're back. And we're in this unbelievable hotel, which we got moved to because our other hotel, we got in, it was shut, wasn't it? Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. As I said a bit in the intro, if you want to join along with this mini cut, I've left a link to my free calorie calculator in the description box, which you can get involved with. Yeah? Go smash it.
Do that. Go.
I'll catch you in the next one.
No, you need to do that on the screen. Why?